Okay, watch out. Oh, you're gonna have to move, baby. Okay, this is, let's see, some more cool scenarios that I had. Okay, so like I watched this movie called The Institute. That's kind of stupid. I always watch all these scary movies because so many of the other movies are stupid. So at least scary movies kind of like get your attention or whatever. So I always bring up horror movies. Where did I watch it? On Amazon, I think. It was called The Institute. But I almost stopped watching it because it started to get into rituals and crap, and I didn't know it was going to be like that. But yeah, so I watched this movie called The Institute, and that was like last Saturday or something like that. And then Sunday morning, then I get this big, long, drawn out virtual reality lucid dream out of body experience where see, what people don't realize is going out of body isn't just you know, that split second before you fall asleep and you shoot off and then you start, well, either astral traveling like this or backwards or whatever. I've astral traveled sideways, upside down, you know, like this. And then, but what I was doing back in 2003 through 2006, I'd always shoot off right when I would break the sleep cycle. I'd go back to bed, and right before I went back to sleep, I'd shoot off. That time, I would just be like this, and just be twirling through the black galaxy, just like this, just be twirling. And I would just anticipate, okay, when am I going to land? When am I going to land? Because I always knew I was going to land in another reality or whatever. Well, that's another video, but what people don't realize is the aliens, they can take you ass backwards. And I've talked about that in many of my videos, where they take you, or they'll, when you're wide awake, they could just come and just take you really abruptly, just like Joel did the other day. Just like pull you out, and you can just be wide awake with your eyes closed. You can have them open or closed, but they can just take you real fast, and then you're like, wow, why did it feel like, you can feel a tug, and you'll be like, why do I feel like they just took me out of body or something? And then when you go to sleep, you're out of body. They use that astral body. God dang it, it's an ass backwards out of body experience. And I've talked about many of my videos before. It's not one way or the highway. Is it? Chew boy. Come here, Simba. Simba. Okay, yeah, so where was I at? Okay, so okay, well, what's that, baby? Patty, move, baby. Come on, baby. Honey, okay, we're gonna get up there. Yeah, right there, baby. Okay, yeah, so, anyway, I was, it was me and my sister. So anyway, I watched the movie called The Institute, and then the next morning, me and my sister, we were roaming around this institution for at least, oh my God, we were there for days and days and days. I don't know how many days, but we were there for many days. And I can't even, the alien didn't really tell me. I can't even, I don't know if it was like a pharmaceutical type of institution or like a mental institution. Like the alien didn't tell me. But we were in an institution. And me and my sister, we were just walking around and doing normal things. Talking, we were talking to other people and talking to each other, and we would sit down at the table and we'd start eating dinner and stuff and lunch and stuff. Well, finally at one point, now there was one sexual thing when funny sexual thing in this scenario, but I mean, it was graphic and everything, but it was just kind of funny. But I gotta delete that out. So edit. And it was just something that was, as far as I remember, it was just shown to me. It was funny. It was just shown to me or whatever. It was like a little interruption or a little blurb or interruption of the scenario or whatever. This wasn't an A+ scenario. But, yeah, so, and then, like I say, it lasted days and days and days. Or we were in the institute for days and days and days. And then finally my sister, she left. And then I was debating how I was going to get out of there without anybody knowing. Because I wanted to leave without anybody knowing. So, so anyway, the aliens copied that from that movie I just watched. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, we were in this institution. I just watched the movie Institute the night before. That was like a week ago. Okay, so, I have to dry this off. This water spilled. Okay, what's that movie? Yeah, okay, so then, there was this other, awesome little virtual reality lucid dream I had. It wasn't very long, it was just kind of quick. But, because I had just been watching about, I was just watching the Gator Boys, about alligators. And so the aliens drummed up this experience for me. I was in my neighborhood, but in the scenario, it felt very, very different. My neighborhood kind of looked different and felt different. And, at one point, well, anyway, it was kind of funny. This possum started to, like, it was like a mean, rabid possum started like running at me and running around where I was at in the yard or whatever. It started running at me and stuff, and I was trying to get away from it. But this was kind of funny because it was a possum, right? But when I looked down at it, when it was just sitting there on the ground, it was a gator head. That's all it was just a gator, round, or oblong, like oblong gator head. And see but of course in my scenario I wasn't thinking, oh, that's a weird looking possum. But it's not until after you wake up you're like, wow, the aliens can like I said, they can put a dildo in front of you, and then they'll be like, or in the scenario, they'll put like a dildo in front of you or something. But they can mind control you to think that it's a bunch of coconuts. And so you'll think, oh, some coconuts. It's so weird. Kind of like this scenario, because it was a possum. It was a mean possum running around. And then I looked down at it because it became still. I looked down at it. And it was it was just a gator head, about this big, just like that big, just sitting there on, flat on the ground. And but the other part of the scenario was this tan dog was trying to attack me, and I was like trying to dodge it. Okay, that comes into play later because just a couple days previous, I had another virtual reality experience with this big ass, freaking mean ass dog, and I'm wondering now if the aliens had always given me scenarios about mean dogs in my scenarios, which I don't know when I was younger and stuff because I wasn't documenting these awesome lucid dreams and stuff I've been having. So like if they put a bunch of dogs in my scenarios attacking me and shit, no wonder I don't like dogs, you know what I mean? Like I remember my virtual reality out-of-body experience when I was age 7, and then my other awesome out-of-body experience I had at age 7 But as far as all the awesome lucid dreams and stuff, you know, I didn't document those. Because a lot of those will, they'll, you know, they may stay with you for a year or two, but eventually they may just, you know, you're going to forget everything 3, 4, 5 years down the road. But, okay, here's another one. Here's one, let's see. Take this. Oh, no, okay, here's the freshest one that I had a couple days ago, which I don't know why I took such a good nap on the daybed, because I had already gotten 9 hours of sleep, but still, man, I slept like crazy. You know, I can still get really good sleep, 9 hours sleep, but then I always, like, 9 times out of 10 will take a nap on the daybed, you know, between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And man, I slept for 2.5 hours. Let's see. Oh yeah, but it was 2 awesome lucid dreams. The first time, well, this experience trumped that one, so I don't even remember that one. But because I had slept for like an hour, and then I got up and went pee-pee, and I already had this awesome lucid dream, or, you know, borderline awesome, and I can't even remember that one. But the second time, or I mean, actually, after I went back and slept back to sleep on the daybed, which I slept a total of 2.5 hours, and I slept so good. That's why if I sleep really, really good, I'll get something. If I just kind of barely, if I can't fall asleep, I never get anything. But so I fell asleep really, really good, and this experience was fun. I mean, I know most people wouldn't think it would be fun, but most of my experiences are fun, even though, you know, it's just doing boring things in the lucid dream or whatever. So anyway, so because I got up and went pee, and I had already had an awesome, you know, like lucid dream, and like I said, that one I can't even remember. And then I went back to bed on the daybed. Then I slept for like another hour and a half, and I slept so good and deep and everything. So I get this. Oh, and the funny thing is, I was talking to the aliens and asking, okay, take me to another mansion, or take me to a big house or whatever, and they did. I was asking, you know, because they love sticking me in these fucking mansions, and it's like a fucking blast walking around for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days. And it's just a fucking blast. It's so much more fun in the altered states. Like, you could go walking around a mansion right now, you could be like, okay, this is fucking creepy, or you don't like it, or it's not fun, or whatever. Okay, so I had this, it was more virtual reality. It was virtual reality, OBE, maybe slightly lucid dreaming. And like I said, this experience was just, if this is Monday, it was like on, just 2 days ago, Saturday morning. And so, like I said, sometimes I can sleep really, really, really good on the daybed, and sometimes I can't even hardly fall. I can almost fall asleep, but can't fall asleep. But then I'll just rest or whatever. And okay, and I've got many experiences on the daybed too, not just this one, but you know, you can't just like, you gotta fall asleep. You gotta fall asleep really good. You can't just be too awake like that. You know, you're not gonna get anything. If you're too awake. Yeah, you chewing. Okay, yeah. So okay, so here it was. So basically, okay, I was in my house. Okay, so the scenario, out of body experience starts like this. And a lot of times, you know, the aliens, you know, right when you fall asleep, you know, you're not going to be alert if they just jerk you out real fast, you know. But that one experience I just had a week ago, or a week and a half ago by Joel, I was totally awake, and I was like, did he just freaking take me out of body? I mean, I was totally awake. And sure enough, he did. And he gave me some big, long sexual scenario. See, I don't understand. See, he's still around. I mean, he's around probably all the time, but I don't know why he's not giving me awesome, my normal awesome experiences. And then sometimes I'll be like, do you want to come give me some sex? And then, yeah, he hops to it. But then the scenario is 100% sex, so then I can't talk about it. Okay, so anyway, so, yeah, okay, so this is how that out-of-body experience started. Okay, so I was in my house, but it was nothing like this house. In the scenario, it was very different. Felt like a different dimension, different house, even though it was my house. And it was so funny. Okay, so I was walking around. Okay, the kitchen was over here. The kitchen was over here. I'm not sure where the living room was, but the kitchen was over here. And it was the back. I was towards the back of the house. For whatever reason, it was the back of the house. And okay, so this is the back of the house. And then here was the big kitchen right here. And then there was a bathroom, a pretty big, and here comes bathrooms again. The aliens love stick you in bathrooms, and oh, they'll stick you in skanky ass bathrooms. In my scenarios, it'll be so disgusting and dirty, and I'll be trying to like I'll have to go to the bathroom or something. Oh, and they can even make you like have the urge, virtual reality style, like, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times you'll just be in the scenario and you know, all of a sudden you want to go pee, so you want to go find a bathroom, and then I'll go find a bathroom that'll be really huge, bunch of stalls, and every single one will be all skanky as hell. And no, this scenario wasn't like that. Okay, so anyway, it must have been a nice being, a more nicer, non-perverted being that gave me this scenario. Or, well, it could have been a gray, but because of the bathroom thing, probably reptilian. Because they like skanky bathrooms, and they like hanging out in bathrooms. Whether they're in their dimension or this dimension. Because I even caught a being hanging around a bathroom in a random video, and that video is on YouTube. Okay, so, yeah, so, yeah, okay, so I was in the back of the house, and there's the, you know, pretty decent sized kitchen to the left, and all of a sudden, okay, I had been living in that house, I don't know how long, but quite some time. It was my house. I had been living in it for quite some time, and then all of a sudden, I discovered a bathroom. It was pretty big, you know, pretty big, good size. I discovered a bathroom that I didn't even know that was in the house. Okay, and so all of a sudden, you know, I opened the door and I'm like, wow, I didn't know this bathroom was in this house. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I already have 2 other bathrooms, because in real life I have 2 other bathrooms in this scenario. You know, that house had 2 other bathrooms, and I was like, okay, I guess I could handle 3 bathrooms. I guess it'd be nice having 3 bathrooms, even though I knew I didn't really need 3 bathrooms. But, so I discovered this other bathroom. And so I opened the door and everything, and like I said, it was a pretty good size bathroom. And it had a normal, small, little white sink, a normal white little toilet, and it was super spotless, super clean. I mean, it needed to have, you know, soap and towels and stuff like that. You know, it was empty. Of course it's going to be empty, because I didn't even know it was there. And like I said, I discovered the bathroom in my house. And so so the whole scenario, I was just like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I didn't even know it was here in the house. You know, in my house that I've been living in forever. In the scenario, I had been living in it, you know, quite some time, but Alien didn't tell me exactly how long I'd been living in it in the scenario. But for a long time, you know, it was my house. I didn't just move there in the scenario. I had been there for quite some time. And all of a sudden, I discover a bathroom. And so, okay, so I started observing the bathroom and everything. And I was like, okay, I just need to kind of clean it and dust it and everything. And like the aliens know I like to clean and stuff. And there was a window. As far as I remember, there was a small little window, too, in the bathroom. And I thought that was kind of cool. And, okay. And then, let me see, hold on. And the other part of the scenario was, I tried to turn on the light. And I just previously, the alien copied this from my reality, because I had just previously, in the turtle room and there in that 3rd bedroom, I had to, you know, I flicked on the light. I do that a lot. I flick on the light and the freaking bulb will burn out. So I had to put in, and that bulb was pretty old though. So I had to get up there and change the bulb in real life the day before this experience. And that was in real life. So the alien put that in my scenario because and when I was in the bathroom under the scenario, this bathroom that I didn't even know it was in my house, I just discovered it all of a sudden. So I turned on the switch and the light didn't come on. I was like, oh crap, I gotta get up there and change the bulb. So, I'm trying to think if I remember. I don't remember getting a stool or anything. Maybe I did. But anyway, I somehow got on a stool and I was reaching up there and there was like 1, 2, 3, there was like 1, 2, 3, like 6 switches. Like 6 little, switches, and the aliens copied that from my brain, from little things that I have. I forgot what I have at the moment. Where you gotta press the little plastic thing to the left or right. It was like that, and it was like 6 little, and so I was like, okay, well maybe I don't gotta change the bulb. Maybe I just gotta turn it on with one of those switches. Little plastic switch. So I was reaching up there, and I was like, and I still couldn't get it to come on, but so I knew I had to change the bulb, and I can't remember at the moment, if I actually did. I don't recall actually changing the bulb, but anyway, the switch did not work because I was like doing each switch, and this is the funny part. Okay, so one of the switches, actually about 2 of the switches, turned on radio stations, and I started hearing music. Like 2 of them were like radio stations, and like I said, I started hearing music. I can't really remember at the moment exactly what music was playing, but it was music. 2 of the switches, like I say, there was like 5 to 6 switches, and a couple were like on and off, or at least one was on and off to the light bulb, but like I say, I still couldn't get it to come on. And so the bathroom, it was kind of dim. It was still daylight outside and everything. It was daylight in the bathroom, but it was kind of dim, because it was kind of dim. If you go into a bathroom and the light's not on. But it had a window, so it wasn't exactly dark. It wasn't dark. I mean, it just, you could tell the light wasn't on. So it was, it's like I was still getting some daylight, from that window. But anyway, but that was kind of cool. I mean, it was fun, even though most people probably wouldn't think that sounded fun, but it was fun. Okay, so, and that was just a couple of days ago. Okay, then about 3 or 4 days ago. Okay, this was kind of creepy, man. I mean, it was kind of fun, but kind of creepy. I love it though. I love it when I kind of love it when it's not when my scenarios don't feel like 3D. Because if they don't feel like 3D, even though they're still out of body and virtual reality, they I love that feeling of feeling like you're in another dimension. But I love the experiences too where it feels like 3D too. That's cool too, but I almost like the other ones better. Okay, so this other scenario, this was about 4 days ago. And I had been, they copied this image from my brain because I had been looking at coconuts and stuff, and like when am I gonna buy some coconuts? Like on Amazon, and you'll see a picture of a clump of 3 big old green coconuts. Like, I know the aliens must want me to eat coconuts. I mean, I don't know how I started to think coconuts are probably the best thing in the world, but somehow it started several months ago when I got it, actually over a year ago. Over a year ago. So far, I haven't had any luck drinking green coconuts or Thai coconuts, but, and I've only had experience with the old coconuts, and then that one Thai coconut, which I'll never buy Thai coconuts around here ever again anyway, because they're all old by the time they hit the stores. So I got to go online and try to find some fresher ones. So, yeah, so anyway, okay, this is not the first experience in the past year when I started getting into coconuts that I'm sitting there, like literally, I mean, for several minutes, totally virtual reality, opening up a coconut, like a green coconut, drinking the water, tasting the water, and I've never even had fresh water yet from a green coconut, ever. And it's so virtual reality, and I could taste it and everything. And then, like, with this experience I had, well, first of all, it was kind of funny because I thought I was going to kind of get out of the coconut hobby, so to speak, because I thought, well, I don't really want to buy them online because the shipping is going to be so expensive because they're going to be so heavy, those green ones and everything. And then after having a bad experience with the Thai coconut, I thought, well, I'm probably just going to just put up with maybe eating the oil occasionally and then the coconut water in the cans and then buying the old hairy coconuts at Walmart. But I have no doubt after having this experience, somehow the aliens think that's a good thing for me to still go ahead and, you know, be determined and try to find the, you know, fresh Thai coconuts and fresh, you know, green coconuts and stuff, which I'm sure the ones that I buy from Florida, I'm sure they will be good and fresh, hopefully. But one time, this person made a comment on Amazon. They were like, please don't ship please don't ship undersized coconuts. So, yeah, I mean, so you don't know what you're getting into, but I think I would trust more buying them from that company out of Florida than buying them on Amazon. But because according to that person, that guy or girl or whatever, they were undersized or whatever. But, and like I say, you should get 2 cups. You should get about 16 ounces of a good green coconut of water. And that's quite a bit. But anyway, okay, so the scenario started like this. Okay, I was living over, well, no, I was at my old house over there where my parents live now, and I was living there under the scenario. And that's where I used to live up to the age of 26. Over there at that house over there. And in the scenario, I was still living there. And, wait, let me think. And, like, I know my mom and dad, they were wandering around the house and stuff. I don't remember interacting with them a lot or whatever. But, yeah, I do. I do remember interacting with them, but... Oh, yeah, I did, actually. Okay, so anyway, after having this experience, I have no doubt the aliens want me to keep trying to find some good coconuts to eat and drink. I just, from the videos, I thought the soft meat and everything, it looked, you know, good, and I wanted to experience that. Because for the hard coconuts, you know, you gotta grade that shit, man. That'll, like, hurt your teeth. But, so yeah, I was wanting to try all that, and so after this experience, and after having many other experiences like this, I have no doubt I'm meant to eat coconuts. Okay, so the scenario started, I was walking around the house I lived in over there where my parents live now, and in the scenario, the whole property was much bigger, the driveway was much bigger and longer, and, okay, so basically this agent guy was like stalking me, and he just showed up at my house. Like I said, I didn't live in this house, I lived over there. I mean, I totally remember what he looked like and everything. He showed up at my house. This is under the scenario. And I did not know what he drove right off bat. But he showed up at my house, and he was like, he came in the the family room. He came in and like I say, in the scenario, the house was really different inside. He basically showed himself right there in the family room. And then I looked down, and I talked to this guy. I don't remember communicating with the agent man, but I started telling my mom, like, who was that guy in the house and everything. And then, I mean, he was wandering around the house, and then at one point he actually sat there on the couch forever. And this is kind of funny, because several times I would look at him and stuff, and he looked like really nice, and then other times I would look at him, and then he would have this kind of evil look about him. So I didn't really know if he was like nice or mean or whatever. And so basically this agent man shows up, and so, you know, in the family room at first. Okay, then we end up in the living room. Okay, so in the family room, but it was really different in the scenario. And I looked down, and there was, you know, a glob of 3 green coconuts. And then he went off. He went off in the other parts of the house and started talking to like my mom and dad. And it seemed like there was a couple other people in the house too. I think my brother actually. And then I thought, who sent those coconuts to me? Who gave me those coconuts? And like at first I didn't know he gave me the coconuts, you know, anonymously, so to speak. I figured that out later on in the scenario that he gave me those coconuts. And so but like I say, at first I didn't know he just dropped them off on the floor, but I didn't see him drop them off on the floor. So I go over there and I start, you know, tampering with it. I mean, this is like totally virtual reality. This was an out-of-body experience, some virtual reality parts, and of course, slightly lucid dreaming. That's why I love this scenario, because this scenario, you know, felt like I was in a different dimension. It didn't feel like 3D. It felt like a different, even though it was virtual reality, felt like a different dimension. Okay, yeah, so I started tampering with it, and I opened it up, the top, and I've never done this before with a green coconut ever. And I drank the water, and oh my God, it was so good. And I don't even know what it tastes like in real life, but I could taste it and everything. I mean, I have a feeling when I buy some green coconuts, it's going to taste exactly like that. That was in the scenario. Even though I've never drank water from a fresh coconut ever. I tried to drink it in real life from the Thai coconut. I've never drank, you know, like I say, fresh coconut water from a green coconut ever. I've only had one experience with the Thai coconut a couple months ago. And I just took one sip of it, and it was like super sweet, too sweet. But Thai coconuts are supposed to be sweet. It was just too sweet, but it tasted so disgusting. Like, I can't even explain the taste because it was so gross and rancid. It just, you could just tell it was just poison. And it just wasn't, it was, it didn't taste rotten, but it tasted very off. I can't even describe the taste, but you could tell it was not good water. And then, like I said, I took one sip and I started feeling high, like I just took a drug or something. So it was actually a nasty ass rancid coconut, or at least the water was. The water goes bad before the meat, obviously. That's obvious. You'll learn that once you get into coconuts. Because when I tasted the meat, it kind of tasted okay, actually, but I was afraid to eat it. But I tasted the meat, and I didn't feel like it didn't make me high or anything. I think it would have been fine to eat the meat, even though it was starting to go bad, but the water goes bad fast. Much faster than the meat. And that was some bad, nasty ass water. I mean, you'll get sick if you drink it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get a good fresh coconut. So that's the only experience I have with coconut water from the Thai coconut, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have just maybe touched it. For now, I know what to do. Just touch it to your tongue, and then you won't get it in your system. But that's what I do with avocados now. When I open the avocado and because I'll be able to taste the poison on the tongue and not get it in my system. Like that fucked up avocado that I bought at Walmart that was injected with poisons, chemicals or whatever. So I should have done that with the Thai water, but I didn't. The Thai coconut water. Okay, so anyway, see, the alien copied off of this because I know this one guy, and I don't know who, well, in real life, some agent man dropped off a turtle on my front porch. A real turtle. So I know that the aliens, okay, she did something to the, I know that aliens, the agent, gave me like a real turtle. So the aliens, oh weird, okay, so I looked at it and it was 3434. The aliens, they copied that. Except in the scenario, the agent gave me the coconuts instead of a turtle. Okay, so But I mean, it was so virtual reality. It was unbelievable. The coconut. I mean, I had it in my hand, and as far as I remember, I just kind of opened it with my finger, which I know in real life that would be kind of hard to do. And then I just drank it, and it's like, wow, it tasted so good. And then it's kind of funny. I looked back down on the floor, and there was like this. It came with a free coconut, so it was like a clump of 3 coconuts, which the alien copied that from my brain from Amazon. There's pictures on Amazon. Clump of 3 coconuts, and then it came with a free coconut, and it came in like a big flat cardboard thing, except the coconut wasn't there. I must have already took it off and set it on the floor, but I don't actually remember that part. But yeah, it came with a free coconut, but it was enclosed in like a flat cardboard thing. And like I said, I don't remember exactly taking the coconut out of that cardboard thing. But anyway, so that clump of 3 coconuts came with that free one. But that was kind of funny and awkward. But I did have, the 3 coconuts, in my hand, so to speak. But like I say, that other coconut, the 4th one, I don't actually remember seeing it. Even though it was free and it came in that cardboard thingy. It was somehow attached to the clump of 3 ones. Okay, so anyway... So, well, and the funny thing is, that box, in real life, some agent man gave me some turtle, and I looked on the box, and I did see a label and a name and everything, and so I looked it up on the computer and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, like, but I don't know what the person looks like or whatever, but... So that probably wasn't real smart, leaving the label on there. I mean, I assume that was the person that gave me the turtle. Whether or not that agent dude had been stalking me in other ways or whatever, like, I don't know. Like at stores or whatever, I don't know. But, so I have this guy's name and everything, which is kind of weird. But yeah, he gave me a real live, cute little turtle. And like I said, I know the aliens copied that in the scenario because the agent man gave me the coconuts. Yeah, so I gotta hurry because it's gonna get too long. Okay, so, okay, I don't know if you can see me. It's kind of crooked because Patty knocked it over. Okay, shit. I feel like it's crooked. Okay, let's try to talk a few more minutes. Yeah, okay, so basically, yeah, and then, like I say, the scenario, it went on for a pretty long time. I mean, 5 hours maybe, walking around the house with this agent man, and like as if he was family or something, but he was a complete stranger. It's like, didn't my parents think that was kind of weird, a strange man in the house? But in the scenario, everything's a little different. I mean, in real life, that would be kind of weird, but you think my mom and dad would have thought that was a little strange. Or maybe they did, I don't know, but... So yeah, so basically, after the coconut situation, I ended up in the living room. And in real life, we have a family room, and then the living room down here. And so that part was correct in the house. So we ended up in the living room, and there's the agent man just sitting there, like on the couch. And then my mom and dad, as far as I remember, kind of started talking to him. And I did say some things like to my mom and dad, like, who is that guy? And blah, 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 blah. And they didn't know who he was. And as far as I remember, he did talk to my mom and dad a few times. And then finally, and like I say, this scenario, or in non-3D time, I mean, we were in the house 3 to 5 hours probably, just kind of walking around. And I kept observing him, and sometimes he would look at me kind of nice-like, and sometimes he would look at me kind of evil-like. And then like I said, I do remember a lot of talking and stuff. I just can't remember exactly what I said, but I know I said to my mom and dad, like, do you know who that is? And blah, 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 blah. And then, okay, here's the last part of the scenario. So I went outside, and by that time it seemed like it was dusk already. And there was an old SUV. He was driving like an old SUV, big old Blazer type of thing, but it was kind of older. You could tell it was like, I don't know, like 15-year-old, you know, it wasn't like a newer kind of Blazer. It was kind of older. And so that's when I was like, Mom, oh, I guess that was the vehicle that he was, you know, that he came in. Because at first I didn't see the vehicle until the end of the scenario when he just decided to leave. He decided to just leave. And that's when I was like, Mom, come here. Here's the vehicle that he drove up in. And so that scenario was kind of weird, but it was fun because of the coconuts. It was so cool. I mean, it was just beyond like virtual reality. And like I say, I've never even done it in real life. I've never had it in my hand, a green coconut. I've never opened it up. I've never drank it. I mean, I saw millions of videos on YouTube about it and stuff. So anyway, I know it's, I was thinking about giving up the coconut hobby, and I know now it's not meant for me to give it up after having this scenario. It's meant for me to keep drinking, and I love coconut water, but I know it's going to be much better straight from the coconut. Okay, so the other scenario, real quick, was basically, this was about a week ago or whatever, and I was talking to Joel. I was in the front bedroom, and I was talking to Joel, and I was like, you want to come give me out-of-body experience? You know, out-of-body virtual reality experience. Well, sure enough, he did, but this is how we did it. So I was laying there, I can't remember what time it was, probably 4 a.m. or whatever. I was laying there, and I had got up and went pee-pee or whatever. Then I went back to bed, and then I was like, do you want to come give me, you know, out-of-body experience, out-of-body virtual reality experience? And then, and I wasn't even barely asleep yet. I was trying to fall back to sleep, and so I was just laying there, and I felt him, like just like a big, what did I just say? A yank. He's just like, he took my astral body out just really fast and abruptly, like jerked it out, and because they can take it out. I mean, they can take it out slow. They can take it out fast. And some of the beings with the wings, they used to come down and then through the top of my head, just like that, take me out like that. And then it's like they would just plop me down in a virtual reality scenario. I don't know where those winged beings are. They haven't given me an experience in a long time. Because I know that couldn't have been Joel, because Joel doesn't have wings. But and he doesn't abduct me quite like that. Anyway, but yeah, so basically, and I was like, I was sitting there thinking, I was laying there thinking, did a being just take me out of body? Because I sure did what it felt like it. I mean, that sure is what it sure did feel like it. That's what it felt like. Like he came and, what do you call it? What was that word I just used earlier? He just, jerked me out really fast. It was very quick, and I was completely awake. Okay, so then I go to sleep, and I'm down in the basement of, you know, the house I lived at over there. I was down in the basement, and this is all under the scenario. So I ended up down in the basement. But in the scenario, it was my brother's room, and in real life, he lived in the basement. Yeah, so in real life, he lived in the basement, and, except in this scenario, the basement was super tidy and clean. It was super clean. And, like, there'd be a dresser over here in the bed, and I was laying on the bed. It was like a twin bed, and there's a dresser over here and some weird little knickknacks, and I was staring at the knickknacks. There was just, like, 3 little knickknacks. And then, there was a bed, and then I forgot what was over here. but it was spotless and it was really big, and it was my brother's room. My brother was gone or whatever, and so Joel sticks me down in the basement, and then it was it was all sexual. Yeah, it was just all sexual. Oh yeah, and I did, like I say, and I did ask him. I was like, yeah, I did ask him, like when I said, do you want to give me an out-of-body experience? Because sometimes I always say it could be sexual, you know, and sure enough, because I always know I'll be more likely to get an experience. So sure enough, he always jumps to it and normally doesn't turn it down. But it was like all sexual. So that's the only part I could say, was that I was in the basement and it was super tidy and spotless. Just a few little knickknacks on the dresser over here. There's some weird looking knickknacks. And, but anyway, it was like sexual. And I can't say any more than that. And so I don't understand, because Joel is around, he's there. But why is he not giving me the normal? Well, I don't know, because I mean, this experience still was different than the normal ones that he normally gives me. Ever so often. Because normally he'll make me, you know, astral travel and stuff. You know, and fly and stuff. But anyway, so I don't know why he hasn't been giving me better ones or whatever. But so he's still around. So maybe I'll get one tonight. But in the morning or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you gotta be really attuned. But you could totally, if you start talking to them, you'll totally know, you know, the sensations and stuff when they like yank you out or, you know, whatever. And sometimes, I mean, there's so many different sensations, but once you get attuned to it, you know, you get attuned to it. There's millions of ways that they take you out of body. I mean, millions and millions and millions. Okay, so people are, you know, kind of stupid if they act like they know what an out-of-body experience is, because they don't know, because there's millions of different types of out-of-body experiences. Because the aliens, like I say, some of them are ass backwards, and you'll be totally, like right now, they could take me out right now. And I could feel them tugging me out, completely awake. And then when I go to bed, I don't know what the shelf life is of astral ethereal essence, but, you know, and then, you know, 10 hours later, give me this awesome, totally virtual reality, 3D feeling experience. Out of body. You'll be an experience out of body. Or it could be more, you know, feeling like lucid dreaming or whatever. Okay, so this other experience, okay, the one about the Nordic alien, that's back in 2001, or 2002, or 2001. It's either 2001 or 2002. I don't have time to talk about that one. But I have time to talk about the other one, maybe. Okay. Okay, so, okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk about this one in like 5 minutes. So, okay, this other scenario was like, about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago. And, okay, so me and my mom, under the scenario, it was out of body, virtual reality, slightly lucid dream experience. So, me and mom were at my grandma's house. Except in the scenario, my grandma was already deceased and everything. And me and mom, it's like we were living in her house. It's like we inherited the house. It was like we were living there. It's like we got the house after she died. And so me and my mom were living in her house. And this is kind of funny because there was a 6-year-old boy in the scenario, and the funny thing is, the alien did not tell me who he was. So it's kind of like, the whole time in the scenario, I'm like, who is that boy? I think the alien forgot to tell me he was supposed to be my son or something. Because from that previous experience, when they took me back to that mansion, they made me have a son, like a 6-year-old son. And so they were just copying. They put that little bit piece or whatever in the scenario. And it's like they forgot to tell me that he was supposed to be my son. So in the scenario, I'm like, who's that kid? Okay, so anyway, oh, this was another agent, like, stalking me and shit. But this one was scary. This one was scary. This scenario was scary, but the alien was just copying off of some stuff that I was watching. I forgot what I was watching exactly. Something about, the aliens killed some people or something like that. I can't remember what I was watching exactly. Or how they can kill people or something like that. And so the alien were just copying that from my brain. Okay, so it's like in the scenario, well, instead of aliens trying to kill me or no. I remember. Okay, so I was watching this show on not a show, you know, what's it called? This alien channel on YouTube. And this person was saying how she thinks some agents tried to kill her. So the aliens took that and ran with it and gave me this scenario. Yeah. I gotta stop waiting so long to tell my stories because then I forget. Okay, so basically an agent was trying to kill me. Me and my mom and this weird 6-year-old strange kid that was in the house. Okay, so this is how it started. So me and mom were walking around, you know, the house. And the 6-year-old boy was walking around the house. So I stepped out the front door and there was a helicopter. And in real life, you know, there's this house right next to my grandma's house with more of like a flat roof, or at least in the scenario. And as far as I remember, it does kind of have a flat roof on pieces of. I'll have to take a look at it next time I drive by there. So basically, so I walked out the front door, and this is all into this scenario. This helicopter was just. And it landed on the flat part of the roof. It was a blackish, grayish helicopter, as far as I remember. It landed on the roof. And there was like, I don't know if there was more than one agent man in there, but there was at least 1 or 2 agent men in there. Okay, the second part, what's the, and I started getting scared. I was scared. I was like, you know, looking out the door. For whatever reason, I stepped out the front door, and the helicopter, you know, and then it stopped on the flat part of the roof. And I already knew it was kind of after us, or me, you know, after us and me. So I started getting scared. Okay, well, the next thing I know, now, in the scenario, it wasn't shown to me when what the agent was doing. He was lowering this mean, vicious dog to the ground. And like I say, under the scenario in real life, you know, there's that house right there. It was, you know, it's pretty accurate, my grandma's house and the house next to it. That was all pretty accurate and everything. Okay, so basically he was, the agent man lowered this big, vicious dog to the ground to come and attack our asses. Okay, so then, I didn't see, like I said, I didn't see the agent lowering the dog. But once the dog was already on the ground, it started just viciously coming at us. And I mean, this fucking dog had a head like, it was like a tan, beige dog, like this color. You know, like this color right here. Like that color. And his head was like fucking huge. And it wasn't like a, what was it like? Kind of like a, not like a pit bull, but what was that dog breed that I'm thinking of? I don't know. It was just kind of like a maybe not Mastiff, Rottweiler. No, I had this other breed on the brain that what his face reminded me of. A certain breed, but his head was huge. And I can't think of the breed right now. But he was a very large dog, but his head was just huge. You know, he was a normal large dog. His head was huge. And he was beige, tannish or whatever. And I'm trying to think of the breed that I had on the brain after I woke up. Let's see. Mastiff. As far as I remember, it looked just more like a, let's see. Not a lab dog. What are those real big dogs? Those big, huge dogs. Not lab. What are those called? I can't remember. Cause I'm not into dogs. Okay, this big lab. Well, anyway, I should have looked it up. Here, let me try to look it up real quick. I hope I have time. Let's see. Okay, what does a Mastiff look like? Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's the dog that Guard has at work. I think that's the dog, yeah, that they got, I think was a Mastiff. No, my computer's not working. What the motherfuck? Okay, hold on. Anyway, it just looked more like a Labrador, like it just, except the face was just wider. Okay, but let me see. I know there was a certain breed I had on the brain, what it looked like. Okay, Mastiff dog. Let's see. Mastiff pictures. Mastiff dog information. Okay, let's see. Well, okay, maybe that's what I had on the brain then. Mastiff. I gotta get on the here, Yahoo. I gotta get on. These computers are so fucked up. It keeps reverting to this. What does it say? E-way or something like that, and then it doesn't do my way or something like that. And it doesn't do dick for searches. So then I got to get on Yahoo, and I can't ever figure out how to get it to stay on Yahoo. Okay, so Mastiff pictures. Mastiff pictures. No, it was another breed. Well, actually, shit. Yeah, okay, well, I would say, yeah, that's what it looked like. A Mastiff. Except his head was this, his face was this wide, his head was this big. And he was just coming up all viciously, and he tried to open the door. He would like banged against the door, and I was really scared in the scenario. I was really frightened, I really was. And so this is the funny part. The little boy, he was there, like I somehow got back into the house and was like 12 feet behind the boy. And the boy was already up at the front door, like trying to hold the door back against the dog so the dog wouldn't come. The dog was trying to murder my ass, as well as the kid, as well as my mom. All of us. This dog, I mean, it just started barging at us really forcefully. You know, because the helicopter, the agent man was basically lowering him to the ground. But I didn't see that part of it. But the helicopter landed, boom. And then, like I say, I didn't see them lowering the dog to the ground, but basically that's why it landed on the roof, so it could lower the dog to the ground to come attack me. And except like I say, it was all tan. It didn't have any black. It was all tan. See, this Mastiff has like black, but in the scenario, this Mastiff was like all tan. And it was just totally vicious. Okay, here's the funny part. This boy had somehow, when I looked, when he was trying to close the door on the dog, he was successful in closing the door, tightly and everything. But then I somehow, was able to see how the boy accidentally, he did it by accident. He did not even mean to. He accidentally, I don't know, when he closed the door, he somehow hit the dog in a vulnerable spot on the head, and it just kind of like, it conked over dead. That boy killed that dog, but it was by accident. He was just trying to close the door tightly so the dog wouldn't come in and eat us. And, yeah, so basically, so that was just kind of funny part the alien put in there. But yeah, the dog, and I saw it all. I mean, he actually, when he was closing the door, you know, the door hit the dog in a certain spot, and then he just conked over dead like that. And, but it was by accident. Somehow the alien told me, I mean, already programmed that for me to know that. So, but it was good that the boy killed the dog because it needed to die because it was about to kill us, you know what I'm saying? But, that was a wild experience. It was very scary. Like I say, in the experience, it was very scary. Like I felt fear, you know, in the experience. Yeah, see, I say the huge dog was lowered to the ground, but for some reason, I don't, maybe I did see them lower it to the ground, but I don't think that part wasn't shown to me. Just the helicopter, like, landing on the roof. And like I say, I can't remember if I saw them lower the dog to the ground. But I don't think I did. It was after I, you know, kind of got back in the house. Then that's when I saw the dog start barging at us. But anyway. So anyway, these other experiences, I'm going to try to talk about experiences that happened a long, long, long time ago, later. Okay, well, thanks for listening. Because I need to talk about some, like 1994, 1970 something. Some older experiences. Okay, thanks for listening.